Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samapprabha Nirvignam Kurubhe Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karashyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahim Tejasvidhavadhetamastu ma vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Atha Chaturthodhyayaha
Atha Chaturtho Dhyayaha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shloka number 13 Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam
Chaturvarnyam maya srushtam.
Gunakarma vibhagashaha
Gunakarma vibhagashaha.
Tasya kartaramapi mam
Tasya kartharamapi mam.
Vidhyakartaramavyayam.
Vidhyakartharamavyayam.
We are seeing the meaning of the shloka elaborately, in elaborate discussion. The fourfold divisions were created by me based on guna and karma. Gunas being three, based on the composition of these three gunas, human beings can be divided into four. And that alone is called Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. SRT, RST, RTS, and TRS. Brahmana, Vaishya, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So Guna Brahmana, Vaishya, Guna Brahmana, Guna Kshatriya, Guna Vaishya, and Guna Shudra is Guna based on Guna. And Karma Brahmana, Karma Kshatriya, Karma Vaishya, Karma Shudra. Iti divisions. So those who have Brahmana Guna, those who have Brahmana Guna, that is Sattva dominant, they are called Brahmana. They are called Brahmana. And Shastram says that Brahmana karma is doing puja, adhyayanam, adhyapal, studying and teaching the Vedas, protecting the Vedas. So that is their job, Brahmana karma. So Brahmana guna, and therefore the karma in keeping with their guna. This combination, this alignment need not be. If it is there, then that person excels. A Brahmana, a person who is guna by Brahmana, and also doing karma in keeping with this guna, then you would be able to do that karma properly, perfectly. Similarly, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. But all possible possible combinations are there. Maybe Guna by Brahmana, doing karma of a Kshatriya. Maybe Kshatriya by Guna, doing karma of a Brahmana. Having Guna of a Brahmana, doing karma of a Vaishya or Shudra. All these are possible. And another division is based on caste, based on Janma, based on parentage. Born in a Brahmana family, Brahmana Kula, the person is called Brahmana. That is not said here. It is just taken for granted. It is being born to a Brahmana parents. The parents being Brahmana, therefore the child is said to enjoy Brahmana Guna. Because of the gene, said to enjoy. Both the mother and the father, they are Guna by Brahmana, therefore child, but need not be. That alone later become the caste system. But Bhagavan did not create division based on Janma. That is very clear. Otherwise, Guna Karma, Janma Vivahashaha, it would be the shloka. Based on Guna and Karma. Guna is important. And Karma, based on Karma. Guna and Karma. By one's Guna and by one's profession. Jati came into existence later. That's later. Now, Karma Yoga and a duty-based society. We have discussed about Guna, and now the duty, the karma-based society. Vedic society is a duty-based society. And Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is relatively easy for a person who is born into a structure where the concept of duty is so clearly defined. It is easy. So such divisions is not to create any split in the society. In fact, it was to create an harmonious function. An harmonious functioning of the society. Only such divisions were made. So therefore, Karma Yoga is relatively easy for a person. So therefore, a person who is a Shudra by Guna, he can slowly become a Vaishya by Guna, and Kshatriya by Guna, and later Brahmana by Guna, and then Jnana. So the ladder, first he should be a Karmi, and then follow Karma Yoga, so that he gets Antakarna Shuddhi. And Sattva Pradhana Purushaha is a Brahmana, it becomes a Brahmana. When the spirit behind the structure is understood, that's what is important. That is not understood, that is why nowadays the people blame the structure. The structure is misunderstood. When the spirit behind the structure is understood, all the person has to do is what has to be done. So therefore, there is no gradation. There is no taratamya. There is no superior karma or inferior karma. Given the guna, this is what my mental configuration is. So given that, from that one has to work on to improve oneself. So such divisions provide ample scope for self-improvement. But unfortunately, this has been not understood, and therefore it has become a curse also in one way. Based on jati. But Bhagavan never said based on jati, it is based on guna and karma, very clearly. It is wrongly understood to be based on jati, therefore it has become a sort of a problem. Therefore, the person need not choose a vocation in life. He or she knows what exactly is to be done based on which family he or she is born to. This problem was not choosing the profession. Depending on the family in which he is born, the family profession was there, that naturally he chooses. One's duty is written all over one's head at birth, so to speak. That's how all the arts, and all the professions were preserved. Some professions requires skill, like sculpture, making the idols, even carpentry. Many such much skilled professions were preserved. Nowadays, we don't have the skilled laborers. Everybody chooses according to their choice. Therefore, they have to develop that skill, the skillness which has been transferred from the down the line, the family. It's not seen now because father would be doing something, a son would be doing something, and grandson would be doing something, some other profession, no connection. For a person who believes in the law of karma, there is no other for him or her to have been born into a particular family. Yeah, based on the law of karma, is born into a particular family. Otherwise, why should a particular parentage, particular country? Some karma is a governing factor, and what is now to be done is very clear. So, therefore, karma is a governing factor. Therefore, born in a given family, and the person now knows the family profession, and therefore, what is to be done is very clear to him. For example, a man who is born into a Brahmana family knows that he has to study, perform yajnas, officiating yajnas, priest. He's a priest. Therefore, you will see him performing puja, etc., prayers, and so on. And he does so happily because that is his profession. There is no grudge against the profession. He takes up the family profession with pride and he does it. Why performing duty doesn't matter. If I only were an administrator, I would have earned a lot of money by now. Instead, I have nothing. There is no daridrata really. He does his profession happily, in spite of not earning much. If earning money is a main criterion, a system based on duty cannot work. So therefore, we can imagine how beautiful was the society. It is not if it is based on if it is earning money is a criteria, then the system based on duty cannot work. Now the modern society, earning money is a criterion. Therefore, only this system, this based on duty, doesn't work. Choosing the profession which is lucrative has become the order of the day. Everyone will look to see which vocation produces the most money and do only that. If medicine produces money, you will become a doctor. And when a glut develops in the field of medicine, you will turn to another field where there is more opportunity, more money. If money and power are the main criteria, there will be no structure. Really speaking, the money and power will set up the structure for one's education, profession, marriage, and so on. But here in the Vedic vision, moksha is the aim. So the modern society is artha pradhana, kama pradhana, but Vedic society was moksha pradhana. The Veda says that you are perfect and that you have to achieve this knowledge, which is moksha. To do this, you must have a mature mind, and this kind of a mind can only be gained by living a life of karma yoga. So therefore, this division is meant for leading a life of karma yoga. That is the topic we are discussing. For karma yoga, you must necessarily have a certain duty and be clear about what you have to do. And you must do it. When you're clear about what you do is, you can perform all your karma, all activity as duty, as Ishvara puja, Ishvara arpana buddhya, karma kartum shikyate. We have seen how the duties of a Brahmana are very evident to the person. Similarly, the duties of a Kshatriya are very clear to him, and he performs his karma as a duty cheerfully. A Vaishya also knows exactly what is to be done by him. His father is engaged in either commerce or cultivation, or he may have a cattle farm. The son chooses one of the three or involves in all of them. Whatever he chooses to do is done as his duty and for a reasonable profit. The Vaishya also is not supposed to exploit the society in any way, because this division based on karma yoga, therefore, not exploit the society. For example, he must not create a scarcity by buying all the available stocks, storing it somewhere, and then releasing it in small amounts and large profits, so the people begin clamoring for it. Such practices are definitely not in conformity with dharma, nor are they Vaishya dharma. So society being dharma based, therefore, They stick to dharma at any cost. So such practices are definitely not in keeping with Vaidika dharma, Vaishya dharma. Thus, when a Vaishya performs his duties happily according to his own dharma, it can be yoga for him. The duties of a Shudra karma, are the same. They are not lowly or demeaning karma. They simply duties to be done. They simply duties to be done. Superiority is determined by one's maturity, not by duty. Which is superior? That is determined by one's maturity, the growth. No duty is superior to another because every ashrama's contribution is important. Therefore, no duty is superior to another. Each duty is as good as necessary as every other duty. Therefore, one group of people is not superior to another group of people. The people themselves are nothing but Parameshwara. That is the vision of Vedic society. Therefore, Brahmanas are not superior to other three. Similarly, Kshatriyas are not superior. If superiority is there, that shows immaturity. They have not understood the vision of the Veda. They have not understood the purpose of the division. So, therefore, the people themselves are nothing but Parameshwara, irrespective of which group they belong to. In every society, there are certain activities to be performed, and these activities or duties fall into 4 general groups. Thus, the groups that people belong to differ from each other only in terms of duties attached to them. So, where is the difference? Where is the gradation? So, when a person belongs to any group performs his or her duty with an attitude of karma yoga, then that person becomes guna-based Brahmana, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, SRT. The Brahmana who chants the Veda for the sake of personal glory. If he chants Veda for the sake of money, if he becomes Artha Pradhana, then he becomes Rajas, Sattva, Tamas. If for the sake of personal glory, it is Rajas, Sattva, Tamas. If he does it for money with no other ambition, then he becomes Rajas, Tamas, Sattva, becomes a Vaishya. So degradation. So though Brahmana by Jati, but by Guna he becomes a Kshatriya or a Vaishya. And if he performs ritual at the temple with an attitude of dullness for no other reason than to feed himself, then he is a Shudra. He is Tamas Rajas Sattva. Similarly, with regard to all the other Varna, there is another kind of Brahmana who enjoys what he does and does it well, but at the same time wants everyone to listen to him. He is always looking around to see who is coming. There are also those who, seeing someone who has a lot of money coming, will stop right in the middle of performing a puja and fawn all over the person. God has to wait, it seems. Thus, there are several varieties of Brahmanas, like Brahmana, meaning born in a, maybe born in a, Jati is not talked about. The person may be enjoying Brahmana guna and doing karma, keeping with his guna. So, meaning Brahmanas, both duty-wise and guna-wise. Similarly, Kshatriya Brahmana means they are Kshatriya by guna and Brahmana by karma. Those who are Brahmana duty-wise and Kshatriyas guna-wise. Similarly, Vaishya Brahmana. Those who are Brahmana duty-wise by guna, Vaishya. And Shudra Brahmana, those who are Brahmana duty-wise. They do puja, prayers, officiating the yajna, but by guna they are Shudra. So therefore, not all the Brahmanas not same. In terms of guna, not same. Therefore, the difference among the Brahmanas itself, that guna makes a difference. Though doing the certain karma, but in terms of guna, there are differences. So one has to grow from Shudra Brahmana to Brahmana, Shudra Brahmana to Brahmana Brahmana. Even a Brahmana, a Brahmana who is Shudra Gravais has to be a Brahmana Brahmana. So that is the structure. The same way there are Brahmana Kshatriya, Kshatriyas, Vaishya Kshatriya, Shudra Kshatriya. Kshatriya, Brahmana Gudavais, but doing Kshatriya karma. Kshatriya in terms of guna as well as in terms of karma. Vaishya in terms of guna, in terms of karma, Kshatriya. And Shudra Kshatriya in terms of guna Shudra but doing Kshatriya karma. So only Brahmana Vaishya, Kshatriya Vaishya, Vaishya Vaishya, Shudra Vaishya, Brahmana Shudra, Kshatriya Shudra, Vaishya Shudra, and Shudra Shudras. All these are possible. Then who is superior in all this? The Brahmana Brahmana, a Brahmana Kshatriya, a Brahmana Vaishya, and Brahmana Shudra. In terms of guna, they are equal. In terms of guna, a Brahmana, in terms of guna is a Brahmana, in terms of karma is a Brahmana. Is equal to a person who is guna in Brahmana, the karma is a Kshatriya, is equal to a person who is guna in Brahmana, in terms of karma is Vaishya, is equal to a person who is a guna in is a Brahmana in guna and Shudra in terms of his duty. Shudra, all are equal. So therefore, who is greater? The Brahmana is superior. That is in terms of guna, sattva, rajas, tamas. That is the goal of karma yoga. So that is superior. That is in terms of guna. This statement must not be understood superior when we say. It means that is a goal. That shows a maturity. That person is a matured person, is superior. Is said to be superior. Superior within quote. So if one is not mature, he has to grow to be a matured person, has to develop the sattva. That is the idea. When we refer to Brahmana as superior, we are not talking about a person who performs the duties of a Brahmana. We are talking about the quality, the maturity of the person's mind. In terms of maturity, only superior. There's a lot of confusion around this point, which has given rise to problems of caste-related problems. If a man who performs Brahmana duties says that he is superior, he is definitely demonstrating a lack of the qualities of a Brahmana, and therefore is not a Brahmana Brahmana. The Brahmana alone is superior, we can say. He's a matured person. Because Jnanam is not far away for that person. Therefore, he is superior. Suppose if the person is Brahmana Kshatriya, he has to grow to be a Brahmana so that Jnanam is not separate. Brahmana Kshatriya is guna by Brahmana, but and Kshatriya by karma. Even he is also equal. There is no big guna is important. But in terms of Kshatriya, Brahmana, in terms of guna is Kshatriya, but in terms of action is a Brahmana. He has to grow to become a Brahmana. So the growth is important. So in terms of maturity, in terms of gaining the mental configuration where sattva is dominant, that is antakarna shuddhi, that is achievable by karma yoga. Once karma yoga is karma yoga in the form of antakarna shuddhi is gained, then jnana is not that far away. Therefore, that person is a matured person. The karma yogi is a matured person. So one has to become a Brahmana, that is a aim. So you will find many great historical saints who were not Brahmanas by birth being worshipped in temples in India. Some are Shudras, some are Harijans, meaning those who do not belong to any of the four groups. Most of these saints are duty-wise Shudra only. But they have places in the temple because they are Brahmana Shudras. Those Shudra by karma, but Gunataha, Brahmanaha, and they are great saints. Therefore, guna-wise people can be Brahmanas while belonging to any of the four duty-based divisions. How beautiful the structure is. Duties may change, but qualities do not. This classification of duties and people can apply everywhere, not just in India. The only difference in the fourfold division is that it was reflected within the family structure, each family belonging to one of the four groups. Probably less than 1% of the people still follow this system, but among those who do, son of a Brahmana still studies, teaches the Veda, performs the prescribed rituals, prays for the society, and lives a simple life. The system is almost gone because it requires certain protection that it no longer enjoys. Protection by the government, by the king. Now, the government, therefore, the system, in fact, it is criticized, not able to appreciate the value of the system, understand the harmonious, the functioning of the system, the structure of the system. So therefore, it no longer enjoys. No system can survive unless it is protected. Prior to Mughal invasions, before the Muslim invasion, the fourfold classification structure in India was protected by the royal families. Royal families are all either Vaishya or Kshatriya. They protected this classification. However, during the 800 years of Muslim rule, it was destroyed. Later, in the interest of survival, people concern themselves only with what had to be look after themselves and their families, because a man no longer bothered about his father's karma, the family duty, the profession, was the whole structure changed in terms of duty. However, in terms of guna vibhaga, the division of people doesn't change. That in terms of guna, it is still there. In terms of guna, naturally will be there. All people are not same. They differ in terms of the guna. This is where karma yoga as an attitude becomes clearer. So who is a matured person? Karma yogi is a matured person because he works for SRT. The karma yogi is one who does what has to be done and with the proper attitude. Such a person is a Brahmana, Sattva Rajas Tamas, with reference to his quality of his or her mind. Only this Brahmana can be a sannyasi. So anyone can become a sannyasi. For that requisite is he has to be a Sattva Rajas Tamas configuration. The mandate that only a Brahmana can be a sannyasi is based on the quality of the mind alone. That's nothing to do with which group a person is born in terms of duty. Now, this is the explanation of, up to this is explanation of the first line of the shloka. Now, the second line, Tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram abhyayam is explained. Okay, let us complete that today. Krishna as doer and non-doer. The Vedic culture then divides people into four groups. Chatvaraha varnaha, four varna, according to the duty, karma, the system itself being possible because of these three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas found in everyone. And Krishna as Ishvara could say, I created them all, but don't blame me, I'm not the doer. Because of their own karma, they are born differently. What makes the difference in the mental configuration? It is the karma. Not all have the same guna, differs. That is based on karma, based on Purva Janma karma. To blame Ishvara is like putting a finger in the fire. This is the example I told. Putting a finger in the fire, and when the fire burns it, asking the fire, did you burn my finger? Then the fire replies, yes, I burned your finger. And when you ask, why did you burn my finger? The fire says, no, I didn't burn your finger. The nature of fire is to burn. Inserting finger, it's your choice. You insert, and the nature of fire is being this heat, it burns. Therefore, who burned the finger? If the answer is both yes and no. That's why tasya karta, akam karta, at the same time akam akarta. I said no. Answer is both yes and no. Then you continue, but you continue. You told me you were the karta. You were the one who burned. You said you did it. Yes, I said I did. The fire replies. Then you say to the fire, but you also said you are not the karta. You said you are a karta. Why? That is because I didn't burn, the fire says. But you burned, you say. Yes, I burned, says the fire. Then again you say, but you said you didn't burn. Yes, agreed the fire. Because I did not burn. What's all this? The fire says it is a karta. At the same time, it says aham akarta. Then the fire explains, I did it because I burned the finger. Nobody else has burned the finger. It was me. But I did not do it because I didn't go after your finger, did I? You stuck your finger into me. You asked for it and you got it. After all, I am fire, Lord Agni. Aushnyam is the Swarupa of fire. Eat. In whichever form you invoke me, in that form I bless you. Ye yatamam prabhadyante tan sadaiva bhajamyakam. You invited for the problem, you got it. You asked for the the wound, so I blessed you with you the wound. You can try again. The same fire. I can boil water for you. I can warm up your room or your hands, and I can burn your fingers too. What do you want from me? Tell me. I will give it to you. That is a blessing. But don't blame me. From my own standpoint, I'm not the Karta. From the standpoint of what you receive from me, I'm the Karta because you get whatever your karma deserves. I'm the law. I cannot transgress the law that I am. The same way Bhagavan also says, Aham Karta, Aham Akarta. Similarly, as Ishvara Krishna says, that he had created a particular structure reflected by the four groups of people as a part of this creation. Therefore, we are to know Ishvara as a Karta. He is a Jagat Karta, this creator of this Chaturvarnyam, the maker or creator of this fourfold division. At the same time, he is also to be understood as Akarta because he says, I have not done this at all. I am a non-doer. How can this be? Only from the standpoint of the world and the four groups of people in it, we can take Krishna to be the doer, Karta. Whereas from his own standpoint, Swarupa standpoint, Chaitanya standpoint, from Parameshwara standpoint, in reality, he is not the Karta of anything. From the standpoint from the standpoint of Paramarthika, he is not the Karta. Therefore, he is not subject to blame. A person has a particular karma that determines whether he is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra in terms of guna. What the person is depends on what he had earned, what he had cultivated, what gunas he had cultivated. Which group a jiva is born into is a jiva's own doing, own karma, and has nothing to do whatsoever to do with Ishvara. So a Brahmana born as a Brahmana, born with the mental constitution of a Brahmana, configuration of a Brahmana or Shudra, who determines that? The jiva determines. The jiva determines. His karma determines. Therefore, the four divisions are there. So it is not Bhagavan by whims and whims and fancies just made a person a Brahmana, enjoy the configuration of a Brahmana, Ashkatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. It is the jiva who earned. Therefore, Agam Akarta. This fourfold division is in the creation. Those who have sattva as the predominant quality, they become Brahmana. And those who have rajas as predominant, become Kshatriya or Vaishyas. It all depends on one's composition, mental composition. Everyone has a capacity that also given. That is a blessing. Has a capacity to change his or her composition because everyone has a free will. Free will is that therefore one can work to become a Brahmana. Or Brahmana is not the goal. One can become a Brahmana. Whatever may be the profession. One can grow to be a Brahmana. From being a Shudra to Brahmana. But the order, Brahmana, from Shudra to Vaishya, Vaishya to Kshatriya, Kshatriya to Brahmana. If a person is as the composition of a Vaishya, then Vaishya to Kshatriya, Kshatriya to Brahmana. If he is as a constitution of a Kshatriya, then Kshatriya to Brahmana. That is the order. So one can apply free will and grow. One's composition has nothing to do with Ishvara. What Ishvara has to do? He is a Karta. He is a Karta. In that sense, he is only Karma Paladata. He is only the giver of the results of action, Karma Paladata. Therefore, Bhagavan is impartial. Bhagavan is not partial. Bhagavan doesn't create any difference. Ishvara is Karta from the standpoint of what is created, from the standpoint of Jagat, and from the standpoint of the beings born. There is the creator, Karta, but Akarta from the standpoint of his Swarupa, his own knowledge about himself, meaning that for him there is no notion that Aham Karta, Kartritva Buddhi alone makes a difference. One who has Kartritva Abhimana is Karta. One though may be doing, but doesn't have kartrita vibhana, is a karta. That is, yes, no kartrita buddhi. If Bhagavan has kartrita buddhi, then he's ajnani, he's samsari. He has no kartrita buddhi. Therefore, Krishna said earlier that this was not only true for him, but for everyone. That's why jnani is a karta. Though doing, still not doing. Anyone who looks upon Ishvara himself, Atma, as a karta is also a karta. That is jnani. Then the next shloka, other beautiful shloka we will read in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Dhanyavadaha